Hello, Oxygen here. Who's there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got some good news coming pretty soon here. We'll let you know, right? sometimes, sometimes I feel like I work there, you guys. Sometimes. I put in enough work for them, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna let some people jump in here. How's everybody doing tonight? We got the live chat on. Every time I do this, I press live chat replay, but in the end, the replay is never there. Hopefully, it works this time because there are some people that are normally chatting. So today, hopefully I get some more people in here to get some chatting going on, because at the end of, it's not a show per se, but at the end of my speech or whatever I'm going to go through, right, we could do a little Q&A section. So we have a few people in here, so by the end of the video, if there's more people in here or you guys end up having a question that I could answer, go ahead and put that in the chat section there and I can answer it. But for now, just kind of chilling, hanging out. It was a crazy day today, right? It sucks having to work while all this stuff is going on, and I'm trying to figure out what is happening on my breaks and stuff like that. So it can get pretty crazy. It's going to get real crazy once the price starts really shooting up, right? I'm really not going to want to go to work. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be hard to really focus when I am there. When we start seeing $3, $4, $5, right? Which I think is coming soon, which we'll get into tonight. Let's go to the moon, Ocgn. I agree. And yeah, get your pencils ready. We're gonna learn something tonight. I want to try and make it more like a chill hangout tonight, and maybe I can try and stream once a week. I'll try and figure out like the best day of the week to do that, where I can hop on and stream for 45 minutes or an hour or something like that. Where it can become more of a place where we can come hang out, conversate. And it's too bad that like you guys can't jump on and conversate too. So maybe some night we could try like a Twitter space call, whoever that works, so we can get some other people talking to and actually have a conversation, right? Because conversation usually opens up more things, right? I'd love to get more heads on what I'm thinking at times, right? So let me see here. We got about 12 people already. That's awesome, you guys. And I just want to say, I saw before I started that I've got like 140 subscribers. That's awesome. Didn't even think I would get 10 subscribers, right? On a whim one day, I just decided to make a YouTube video, and I really enjoyed it. And here we are, right? And now I've got some subscribers and stuff, which is totally awesome. And I do want to say in the beginning this time, down in the link, maybe I didn't put it in there on this one yet, but in the description, I'll add, there's a little link that I added for, it's called buymeacoffee.com. It's literally just to give me a tip if you want. Buy me a coffee in the morning, because like I said in the last video, I spend like $400 a month on coffee. It's kind of, mocha is my vice. I drink 2 a day and it costs a lot and it sucks. So if you appreciate what I do here, bringing you guys this news and showing you the charts and all that stuff, you could give me a tip if you feel like it, but totally not necessary. That's not why I do this, right? So let me see here. Flip this on. Oh, totally blocking me. Yeah, that's not what we want to see first. So to start off, not financial advice, you guys. I'm not a professional. I've been getting pretty good at the charts because for the last 4 years, not only have I been getting my degree, I've also been teaching myself what I see in the charts, right? And I've been doing that by reading tons of articles, reading books, watching videos, watching live traders. I've been doing it all on the side of my classes. I've been teaching myself this stuff too, and I think it's important if you guys are investing in the stock market, and especially if you're investing quite a lot in the stock market, you should be doing the same thing. You should be figuring all this stuff out for yourself and not waiting for someone like me or someone on StockTwits, right, or Twitter, right? These stock gurus that a lot of them are really predatory, and we're going to talk about that later too, because I'm worried about some people, and I don't like what I see sometimes, and what I see is um, what I feel like people getting taken advantage of. So we'll get into that, but first, not financial advice, right? I'm not a professional, so some of the things I say might not be exactly 100% correct, and some of the stuff I say is just like a theory or what I think might happen, and a lot of it is based on facts and things that I find online, right? I'm not just pulling this stuff out of a hat. I am finding stuff to back up, right? And if I ever do say something that's really speculative, I make sure to let you guys know. So I did show a picture of this last time, um, of my 1 point perspective drawing, and then I wanted to put it into some more perspective by holding the picture, because that last picture, a lot of people probably thought it was just like a regular size piece of paper, but this is actually a really huge drawing, which takes a lot of time and patience, and it was a lot of fun. I like to draw with pencil. It's always been my style. And no, this one behind me is not mine. This is one of my buddies, Trevor, that drew this for me. And it's a picture of me holding an old rifle I used to have and an old pistol I used to have. He drew that picture of me. He has a pretty similar style to me, but so there's that. I just wanted to put that into more perspective there so you could see how large that picture actually is. So now I want to get into here. Let's make it bigger. This is, what do you guys see over here? I got to remember to check the chat over here, and I got to remember to see what you guys can see. Okay. So this is called a bullish flagpole, or bullish flag pattern. And a lot of you probably have already seen. I posted this a while back. This is the very first one that I called out, and this pattern happened exactly how I called it out here, and it went even higher. But this is the first time I posted about it here. On the left explains that it's a bull flag pattern, and you can see. Can you see? You guys cannot see where my mouse pointer is on there, but on the left it says flagpole on the bottom, right? And then it goes up and it says flag where it's coming back down. So that's where I saw on the chart. You can see I put that tall blue flagpole there, and then the flag part is where I drew the two blue parallel lines coming down, and then the flagpole length you see on the left there, just after the flag exit, is the next flagpole. And if you don't know how to do that, you can go check out my last live video, and I show you exactly how to set this up, the flagpole pattern, how to clone the flagpole, how it's the same length and move it over, and how to get like your best estimate on where to put it as far as the flag coming down, right? And how to kind of guesstimate your breakout timing. And I'm going to go into that a little more too, because I posted more about that today, this morning. But I just wanted to show you this again here to show you what we're talking about. This is a flagpole bearish or bullish pattern, and you can see on the little square in the middle there where it says bullish flag plus Fibonacci strategy, that's the full setup. And you can see it shows the golden pocket on there too, just like how I have on mine. If you don't know what the golden pocket is, you can go back a few videos of mine. I'm pretty sure I labeled it something like golden pocket or something like that. And so that's how this is set up. The bullish flag usually comes down to that golden pocket. It hits the golden pocket, and then it usually shoots back up, right? That's the second flagpole there. All right, so let's go down to the next one. This is after the blue one, right? So I really wish you could see my mouse pointer here. It's kind of a bummer you can't. It'd be a lot easier to point out what I'm talking about. But you can see the bottom left part is the one I just showed you. The top of the purple channel there is the last one I showed you. And this is how it played out. And then this was the second one I had posted. I said, looks like we're about to have the same bullish flag pattern play out, right? And that's exactly what happened. You can see it. We shot up to $1.25 there, and everyone was praising hallelujah, rejoiceful. And then you could see we got this straight, almost straight spike, right? 3 days, we dropped all the way back down to 80 cents, and everyone was losing their mind. What's happening, right? But I said, don't worry, you guys. And that's when I posted this and said, all right, do you remember the last time I showed you? Boom, golden pocket. And you can see we bounced off the golden pocket twice there on the bottom left and then came back up. And then this one came down and hit the golden pocket. And let's see, I'll go to this one actually played out exactly. And I was only a day off. It hit $1.52, which is right where that flat level on the top of my second flagpole in orange there. It went up past there on the intraday and then settled back down right on that top orange line, 152, right at the top of the flagpole. And if that doesn't tell you that the TA is there for a reason, then I don't know what is, right? Boom, it went straight to that and settled there. Let me go to the next one. And that's kind of what you can see here. And I use the same picture, but right before this tweet, why I put that yellow circle right there in the middle is because at this point I said, this was in the morning, this morning, and I said, right now we're holding the top, our old top flagpole, right? You can see we hit it twice there at that point in that morning or this morning. We had hit it twice and came back up a little bit. So the post right before this one, I said, we're using that top old flagpole 152 for support right now, for now, right? Because I had a feeling we were going to drop down some more, which I had posted to yesterday, I believe it was, saying, or the day before, really high likely that we're going to go back down. And I called the exact top. I don't think, unfortunately, I was able to post that one out, but I was texting one of my buddies and I called out the exact top. When we hit 210, I said, we're one tick away from that top RSI. And I remember in the last video, I told you guys I was going to show you that, and then I completely forgot. So let me show you that real quick here before I forget again. Let me see. So when you're looking at the RSI, and we were at that 210, hopefully you guys can see this now, because when I look to my left at the live feed, it's still on the other picture, but I'm just going to assume it's lagging, but you guys hopefully are hearing what I'm saying right now. When we had that last call and we hit 210, we were right at like 86 on the RSI, or it looks like we got about 84. And I knew we didn't have much higher to go because you can see here the last spike, right, up here, our last run, the RSI got to 86. In the run before that, the top was 86. So I knew we didn't have much further to go. So I knew 210, right, was the top or close to it. I sold a really small position, which ended up coming out at 206. It was like $250 worth, so nothing huge, nothing to move the stock price, that's for sure. I just wanted to test my trading skills, and so I sold at 206 at $250 worth, and then I bought back in at like 186 that same day. And so I was able to pick up like 10 or 13 free shares. And so that's a great way to do it. But you have to be really comfortable doing that, right? It's not an easy thing to call the top and then buy a bottom, right? Because you're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to keep going down, right? Or I don't know if it's going to keep going up. It's hard. It's a lot harder to sell, I realized, right, when it's going up than it is when it's going down. Because you start to, the greed kicks in, right? And you just think it's just going to keep going up, and the greed kicks in. But that's why I've been saying, dollar cost average out, just like how you've been dollar cost averaging in $100 here, $1,000 here, whatever your limit is, right? I don't know how much money you guys have, but let's say you're doing $100 every time you're throwing some in. When it's going up every so often, start doing the opposite. Sell 100, right, as it goes up. And that's just one way to do it. Or you can do it in percentages. As it goes up, I'll sell 10% here, I'll sell 25% here, depending on what your risk level is or what percentage you go up, right? That's how it works. Also today, I wanted to test and see how well or how much like the bears are making, right? So I bought two puts for like $20 a pop, I think it was, and because I knew we were headed down, and I said, all right, well, let's see how much money they're getting off of this, and we went down 10%, and it went up $6, right? So the bears are not making much, right? You go down 10%, and you're only getting uh, $6, right? So that's not a huge gain. So I actually sold those puts today at the bottom, and I'm not going to buy any more because I don't think we're going down anymore. I think tomorrow we're headed the other direction, and we'll get a little bit more into that because of what's happened today. Okay, so let's go back. So yeah, I wanted to show you, keep an eye on the RSI, right? When we start getting close to 86, 84, again, keep in mind that's usually when it maxes out and we get a cool off period, right? So that's a way to know we're heading towards the top. And each time you can see, even though the RSI got back to the same spot, we went a lot higher. And could somebody please tell me if you can see the live chart right now, or if you're still looking at that picture, because it's still the old picture. You can't see what I'm saying because I'm not sharing my screen. Dang it. Why aren't you guys saying anything? You're letting me do the whole video? All right, let me share a screen and we'll go through it again. Dang it. Okay. The things you learn. Doing things live. How can I even do this? Let's see. Share screen. Let's do share display. That is not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Sorry about that, you guys. I am brand new to doing this, so figuring things out as we go here. All right. Now you can see the chart. I'm sorry you couldn't see that before. Here is RSI I'm talking about. You can see on these last runs we spiked up. This is the most one that we had. We went up to 84. In our previous ones were 86. So that's how I knew when we got to 210. Somebody had put on Twitter like, if we go over 2, we're going sky high from there, right? But that's just not true. I knew as soon as they said that that was a lie, or they just don't know, right? That that's not possible because our RSI was just 2 ticks away from maxing out, and it didn't even get there, right? But when you look back from our previous 2021 highs, there is possibilities of us right steaming up to 97. Look at that, right? But that's going to take something really bullish, right? That'll take our partnership PR or something to get us back to steam all the way up to 97 RSI, and that will be a glorious day, which I believe could be coming soon. Yeah. So, all right. So now you're able to see that. I'm sorry I was talking before without sharing screen and you couldn't see it. So now I think I was done with this section anyways. Yep. So next I wanted to talk about options. Let's talk a little bit about options because I know a couple times I had posted like my options and being up. I was up like 200% on one and 275% up on another one. I didn't really say much about it. And here, let me pull my face up. I didn't really say too much about it because I wasn't really thinking about it right. And that, the more I think about it now, it may have made you guys want to go out and purchase options, or maybe you did go buy an option, say, whoa, these people are killing it on options. I want to go do the same thing. It can be a good idea, right? And you can make a lot of money on options, but I want to give a warning out there, right? Because options are really dangerous, especially if you don't know what you're doing at all. And I'll tell you a story of what happened to me in 2021. So before we had our huge spike, I bought a lot of options, and then we got this big spike up to 18, and every single one of my options went from, I think I paid like $150 or something a pop for them, and then each one went up to $1,200. But I didn't see any of that money of it, unfortunately, um, because of how quick you have to be. I couldn't sell them. So we went up to 18, and I was like, whoa, there are 1,200 a piece. I'm rich, right? I was rich. And sell. And the price was coming down so quick that when I was putting it in, sell, the price would jump underneath my limit. Oh, I had to quick reset it down beneath, and it kept going down beneath, and I didn't know enough to just jump down enough to make sure I got out of the position. And at 1,200, 1,800, 600, 400, I think I finally got out of them at like a few hundred a piece, or maybe even dead even, or maybe they even went to zero. I can't remember. Probably went to zero because I remember being shell shocked for like a year. I didn't touch the stock market. I just started learning stuff, right? I was too afraid to start putting more money in because I had seen my portfolio. This is when I first started and just had like 800 shares in Ocgn, and my portfolio went from like 8,000 to 22,000 in one day, and I was like, whoa! And then it started all coming back down quick because the price started coming back down so fast. So that's the danger in options. Like, it's real easy to see that price go up, but if and volatility, right, is what makes the price go up so much. Like right now, options, they're moving pretty slow, right, because it's not that volatile right now. And when the volatility comes, the volume comes, we get 100 million in one day, boom, right? And for us simpletons, we're not on the ball. Like, I maybe I could do a little better this time. I do have some options now, but I'm not going to wait till we get to 18 to try and sell them anymore. That's for sure. I'm going to, just like my stock, maybe we get to $2 tomorrow. Boom, sell one. Maybe we get $3 next week or a month from now. I'll sell half of them. And then, or all of them, right? Like, I'm not going to mess around. And the thing with options is there's a time decay. Like, I should have sold my options when I was at 200 and 275% because the time decay, and when you never know when the stock price goes down, it goes back down, right? I'm still holding those options right now, and they're not up that much anymore, right? I think they're more around, one of them's up like 100% now, and the other one not even that much. So I should have sold those when I was like, hey, 200, 275%. And a good rule to think of that is if it's good enough to take a photo of it or a Snapchat of it, right, then that's probably when you should sell. And that sure has been right for my case, right? As soon as I posted somewhere that they were up that much, right, that should have been when I sold, because now they're back down. And I should have sold right then. And then now I should have bought more, right? I actually did buy more today because it's like dollar cost averaging. It's the same with your options. If I bought like, let's say I bought options at $20 yesterday and they dropped down to 10 today, I can buy some today, and that brings my average of my options down, just like your stocks, if you didn't know. So I bought more today. So when we come back up tomorrow, I think I'm going to have even more, right? And then hopefully tomorrow I'll have the right of mind, if they're way up 200% again, to sell. Because the thing with options is you can always buy another one the next day, right? And do the same thing, because that's how it works. So you shouldn't get greedy with options, is what I'm saying. As soon as, boom, you see them up, you should sell, which I didn't do this time, but I did do it with that put. And so yeah, I just want to get that warning out. Be careful with options. Don't do it if you have no idea how to do them. Like in 2021, my friends and stuff were started buying options, and they're like, yeah, we're making all this money. And then I'm like, hey, you should probably sell it. And then they're like, how do you sell it? Right? If you're asking yourself, how do you buy an option or how do you sell an option, don't do it. Please do not do it, right? It's dangerous. Don't do it. Be careful with options. All right. Any questions for now? We found the accounting irregularities. Well, who found the accounting irregularities? We'll talk about that in a little bit here. What's up with the delayed 10K? We're going to get to that here in a little bit. Let's see, what do I have next? We did the options, we did the RSI. We're going to do some live DD, but I think I'll save that towards the end so we can do like Q&A / live DD. Okay, I wanted to show FinTech. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I want to show you guys FinTel. If you don't know that website, it can be helpful to figure out what's going on. So let me switch over here. See, I don't know if you guys are seeing immediately what I see, or if you're seeing what I'm seeing on my iPad over here, which is pretty far delayed. So this, you just type in OCGN FinTel or whatever whatever other stock. And keep that in mind, you guys. Anything I'm saying here goes for any other stock, not just Ocgn. Ocgn, Fintel, FINTEL, and then you go ahead and you click on that, and you guys can't see. Okay, because I need to. Why can't you see? I'm sharing my screen. But you can't see what's on my screen. Why? Oh, I need. I'll get this down someday, guys. I hit my content. There we go. All right. So Ocgn Fintel. Let me go back so you can see it. Oh, you go to Google, you type in OCGN Fintel, hit search. You click on the first one, Ocgn Inc. See, there's overview, right, which gives you the overview of whatever company you're looking at, and it says institutional ownership and shareholders. So you scroll down here, you can see who the largest holders are: Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock. Those are the largest institution holders in Ocgn. You can keep scrolling down, and you can see the latest of what's going on with institutions. Lost my voice? Can you hear me? No, I'm good. Okay, I hope you can hear me. Okay. So yeah, so you scroll down here, and some people get confused with this, so I just want to make it clear. The red are recent sells, right? So institutions sold would be red. And you could see here it says -100 under shares percentage. So that means they sold out of their entire position. Now, when it's white, like the one just above it, Germ, so Virtue Financial sold out all their whole position. Right above them is Germ. You can see under shares, it says they have 65,000. And then under shares percentage, you can see it says -16.24. That means they also lowered their position. They didn't have a full sellout, but they lowered their position by 16%. And then all the other ones, so the one just above that, you can see it says 43 over here for percent value, right? But for shares percentage, 0. That means when they reported, they didn't sell or buy anymore. They're just flat. And you can see Vanguard's, their profits have increased, right? All of Vanguard, they're getting profits here, reported value in the 1,000, right? So nationwide mutual funds dropped 17%, Fidelity added 14%, and then some of these other ones, right? Not much happening. And I think this is because of compliance, right? When companies can't, or institutions, hedge funds can't buy a stock when it's under $1, right? When a stock is not meeting NASDAQ compliance, they can't buy. And that's why we saw such a huge exodus at the end of last year from institutions, because Ocgn wasn't meeting compliance, and unfortunately for them, they have to sell, right? Instead of dollar cost averaging, they just said, we're out of it, right? And now I can just about guarantee you, now that we've met compliance, and even more so when we get $5, institutions are going to start piling back in to Ocgn. And I say $5 because $5 is kind of that limit where stocks go from penny stocks, they call them, right? Penny stocks to like a small cap stock or whatever. And that's when they get above $5. And that's usually when institutions can start buying companies. And lucky for us, right, we can get into companies when they're down this low. And I remember when I first bought into Ocgn, it was at like $8. I didn't get that first initial run up, but luckily for me and you, if you're watching this, we're in that initial run up this time, right? So that's awesome, great for us, because I think big things are coming soon. So that's Fintel. If you don't know, you can use that for anything, and it's not just for finding the institutional insiders. There's lots of other stuff. You can get all their latest SEC filings here. You can look at the option chains and flows. Shares are available. So it's a pretty useful website to look into whatever stocks that you're in. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to mention here, when I went on to my conference up in Anchorage in January, the end of January, I think it was, I actually started investing in another company. And I haven't told anybody what this company is yet. I'm not sure if I will. I'm definitely not going to right now because it is underneath $1 and it's really speculative. So I don't want anyone to risk it. If you really wanted to figure it out, you could probably do some digging through some posts and probably find it. But how I found it was when I went up there. When I went up there, I brought this book that someone recommended me. It's called One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch, and it's a really great book if you haven't seen it or read it before. This is your homework. Buy this book. It's super cheap on Amazon, and it helped me to choose this stock. It's really cool because in the book, he basically tells you to invest in what you know or what is a part of your life, and that usually ends up being those successful companies, right? Things that you're interested in, that you're buying, or your people you know are buying these kind of things. And for me, it's something to do with health. And I've been thinking about making a video on my health journey at some point because some of you might remember, let's see, it was probably last year, I was posting stuff about losing weight. And I was, I think, 305 pounds at my top. And over a year, I'm down 70 pounds. And it has something to do, well, I'll tell you, it's low carb, right? I've been doing keto, and it's amazing. If you want to lose some weight, do keto. It's great. I eat bacon and eggs for breakfast and avocado like every morning. Who doesn't love bacon and eggs? And I'm losing weight. So low keto is the way to go. I'm down 70 pounds in a year, and I was actually down those 70 pounds within about a half a year. I've been maintaining for about a half a year now because I pretty much went from like hardcore keto to something called dirty keto, where now I'm eating stuff in the store that says keto, where it has a little bit more carbs. From when I first started, I was basically just whole food, and I lost 30 pounds in about a month, and it was too fast, to be honest. But I'm glad I did it. I feel great. My heart thanks me, right? And I feel a lot better, and I'm a lot more confident, and I can tell that women are into me, right? It feels great to be in shape. So one of these days, I documented a lot of the process. I was taking pictures of a lot of it. I did a half marathon, and I'll show you my background picture here is a picture when I um, did the half marathon last year, and it was a blast. It looks like it's not going to show you my background, and I'm not trying to do that. So I'll pop up a picture in another video, and we'll just make that a separate video. Getting off track here, but health has been a really important thing for me um, this last year. But anyways, one up on Wall Street. He tells you a lot of good stuff and how to find 10 baggers. He calls them a 10x, and that's what I'm hoping my new investment is going to get me. Okay, and Ocgn as well. I'm still hoping for a 10x. All right. Next on my list is predator gurus. We've been seeing some pop up, especially on StockTwits. If you're on there, there's a lot of those predator stock gurus on there, and you got to be careful. When I see that kind of stuff, I can easily see that those aren't genuine people, and they don't have your best interest. And so I want to give a warning. When you sign up for a group like that, right? Join my email list or come join my Telegram group or anything like that. About 90% of the time, those people do not have your interest, your best interests at heart, right? They don't care about you. They're trying to make money, and a lot of what those people are is they pay 30-40 bucks a month for a volume screener and other things like that, and they go to whatever stock has this huge amount of volume, because a huge amount of volume usually means the stock price is moving in one direction or the other, and they can jump in there and look like a hero and say, boom, I told you the stock was going way down, or boom, I told you the stock was going way up, because what they're doing is they're checking those pre-market volume screeners or indicators, and they're moving from stock to stock. And you may have seen I even kind of talked to one of them or called them out in a way, trying to give people a little bit of a warning, like, hey, I only have 100 followers on here and you have 20 some thousand, but yet each one of my posts has 4 or 5x the amount of likes and stuff than your post. So I'm like, how is that possible? Just trying to, and I was kind of curious, maybe this person isn't a scammer, but it's really fishy to me that you can have 25,000 followers and each one of your posts you're getting 5 to 6 likes. That doesn't make sense to me. If this person is so great of a trader and they know the best stocks, wouldn't all 20,000 of those people be following every single one of their moves and jumping into every single one of their stocks they're calling out? No, because they're not genuine. And those aren't real followers, is my guess. Just like Twitter and everywhere else, if I really wanted to and start getting monetized on YouTube right now, instead of going the natural way to build my channel, which I want, I could pay whatever. I don't even know what the price is because I've never wanted to do that. I've never looked it up, but that's what people do. They buy their followers on Twitter and they buy followers on YouTube, and then they look like they're this important person that they're really not. And you have to be really careful for those people. And I thought that most people could see that these are not genuine people. But unfortunately, I've seen some people say stuff that led me to believe that they had gone and joined these people's emailing list and stuff. And you may have seen my frustration this morning when I sometimes I just see this stuff and get flustered. So this morning I posted something like, "You guys want to pay me for an email for this stuff, right? I'm literally putting it on here for you for free. why go pay some scammer to tell you something that they're paying for, which is an automatic screener, right? That's what most of them are. So be wary of those stock gurus that claim to be the best, and they're getting in all these stocks and getting thousands of percent every day, because it's just not true. Okay. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention about that, but it's barely in my head. I'm losing it. When I lost it, I can't remember. Predator Gurus. What was it? It's escaped me. All right, so I had on here earnings release speculation, because there was a lot of stuff going on and nobody knew if it was this 10-day or 20-day earnings thing. And maybe Ocgn picked up on the confusion, so today they kind of cleared it up. And man, was it a really crazy confusing day when all those things came out. I was right in the middle of one of my reading groups at work, and my phone's going crazy. Ocgn this, Ocgn that. And I'm like, what is happening right now, right? And I couldn't check on it until break. And so I really haven't looked too deep into it, and that's kind of where the live DD section is going to come in here, where we'll just jump in there and kind of look at those together. And there doesn't need to be any more earnings release speculation, because they've now told us when they should be coming out. Well, kind of. Well, we'll look at that too. There is still a little bit of a earnings release speculation happening, to be honest, but we'll talk about it. Okay, so let me. This is the first SEC filing here I wanted to pull up that came out today. And this is the one where I gotta put my glasses on here. This is the one. Where complete? Let's see. What is going on this one? This is where the subject annual report. Okay, so this is where they're telling us that they were not able to prepare the financial statements of the company, the year ending, blah, 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 right? Because there was some mistake going on with the application of US GAAP. Bosco, come here. Stop that. Here. My dog's trying to dig through the carpet. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry. So yeah, they related to a collaboration agreement. As a result, the company intends to restate its financial statement for the year ending 2022 for each of the three blah blah blahs, given the scope of the process to prepare the restatements. Sorry, you guys. Let me bump this back up. Where was I? So basically, they're just saying something happened. There was this mistake on this accounting error, and now we had to set back our earnings release. And part of me thinks that they may have done something on purpose to kind of do this sly move on holding earnings back, because I believe they're waiting to post earnings because they want something good to say, right? We don't have any actual revenue or anything, so, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk about here. People are confused about earnings. I'm not looking for the earnings report, right? I'm looking for what's they're gonna say, hopefully, the day before or the morning before the earnings report. And if there's nothing before the earnings report, it's a big nada. So that's why I feel like they're pushing earnings back as far as they can, because any day now, NIH/NIAID is going to announce the beginning of Occu 500 trials and hopefully the funding amount. So I feel like they're waiting as long as they can, so earnings isn't a nothing burger, and they can go, by the way, we got Occu 500, and then boom, right? It's super bullish. But so yeah, NIH hasn't. And if you don't know, I mentioned in the last video, Ocgn is not announcing when it's starting. We're waiting for NIH to tell Ocgn when it's starting, basically. Maybe Ocgn knows, I'm not sure, but NIH knows, and hopefully it's very soon, right? They probably told Ocgn it's going to be anywhere in the first quarter or early 2024, right? And early 2024 technically is only through April. So more than likely before the end of this month is when we're going to hear that trial starting and other things, right? The Big Farm Partnership, I believe, is supposed to happen early 2024, and Occu 400 as well, right? So we are waiting for both of those announcements, and I'm hoping, like how we're waiting for NIH to announce, I'm hoping they're waiting on that Occu 400 announcement once they get the partnership finalized, which I think also has something to do with these SEC filings today, where I thought it was this one that mentioned the partnership thing, but it is not. It's this one. So let's see. Board of directors, company consolidated. Where is determined? Okay, so right here, let's see if you can see the part I highlight. Nice. At least you can see that. Wait, can you see my mouse? Can now. Okay. So yeah, right here, they say on April 1st, 2024, the company filed a notification of inability to timely file Form 10-K on Form 12B-25 due to an additional time required for the company to correct the errors described above and prepare restated financial statements. At this time, the company expects to file the 2023 Form 10-K no later than April 16th, 2024. So that's why I said, well, there's no more speculation on earnings now because we know it's going to be by April 16th. But then when you read the next part, it says, however, there can be no assurance that the company will be able to prepare restated financial statements and file the 2023 Form 10-K on the timeline anticipated, or that no additional errors will be identified. So they have to cover their butt there and put that on there just in case something else happens. So that's why there's still maybe technically some speculation going on here, but let's hope it's by April 16th, and let's hope before April 16th we have gotten those PRs that are just lined up, right? Like, come on, let's go. I want to see the fireworks. Okay, checked out the SEC file, or that part. The next part I want to show you on this one was, where is it? Other events. So today, they finally officially released that we did meet compliance, right? So here's where tomorrow comes in and how bullish I think tomorrow is going to be. We'll get there. So on March 28th, 2024, the company received a written notice from the NASDAQ that, right, we were under $1 from blah blah blah. March 13th, 2024 to March 27th, 2024 is when we hit our 10 days in a row. And right there it says this matter is now closed. So, boom. Compliance has been met. It has now officially been PR'd. Hopefully, tomorrow morning, they send out a tweet. And actually, I want to check LinkedIn here. That's going to be part of our live DD to see if, because our new whatever social media person they hired oftentimes or always posts on LinkedIn first. So we'll check that after here to see. So that's our official. I mean, everyone should be giving a cheer right now that we now know officially we have met compliance, and there's no way it's not happening, right? Because even I thought, well, maybe they did jump up to this 20-day thing, which is a possibility, but it didn't happen. So that was great. We met compliance, super bullish. Hopefully tomorrow we see a tweet about it, and that's gonna push us back up. You know, I don't want to say where, but hopefully, right, it's gonna get us moving back bullish. But if you saw this morning my post on Twitter, I was thinking that wasn't probably gonna happen until the 6th. So I'll show you this right here. So this morning, I was saying, according to the last couple of runs in the charts, we may start seeing the price head back bullish on the 6th, because you can see there on those yellow circles I put, that was the 6th of the month, and that's right. On the 6th is when we went from bearish to bullish. So the 6th was like the start of both of our previous runs. So I said, okay, on the 6th of this month, which would be Saturday. So I was saying maybe on Friday we might start moving up bullish again. And then I said, unless there's news, right? News can totally change that. And then we did get some news, and it was wild, right? Because nobody knew if it was like this bearish news or bullish news. And we saw a quick dip back down to the golden pocket, just like I said was going to happen. And right after we dipped down to that golden pocket, I'll show you here. So this morning we were up at 155 or whatever. And I said, you know, it's possible we're going to go down to that golden pocket again and then go back up. But I was saying probably over here on the 6th. But since we got news and it was confusing, it was bearish first. So we went down right to the golden pocket, like I said was going to happen. And then let me switch to a smaller time frame here. So look at this. We tested the golden pocket earlier, in the right. This is what should we call it? After hours, or this is during the day. We touched down right in the top of boom. We went right into the golden pocket, right to 140, like I said on my tweet. Go down to 140. We hit it. And then as soon as we hit that 140 in the golden pocket, boom, we've gone back up to 165. So I've called these reversals perfectly 3 times in a row, and I am kind of freaking myself out because that's just crazy, right? I literally called this 3 times in a row. And then tomorrow I expect to be bullish, right? We got a reset on our RSI for the daily, right? That was one thing that the confusing news did for us today was it gave us that quick spike down, which brought our RSI back down to 63. So that means tomorrow, if they do give us a tweet saying we've met compliance, we have room to run, right? And that's going to be the room to run, hopefully, back to going to, right? Hopefully, this is the push we need to get us back up to 250, where this flagpole goes, which would be exactly how it played out in the last ones, right? So that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow. It's not a 100% that's what's going to happen tomorrow. It's possible maybe they don't tweet anything and we get this little, like tomorrow we get a candle here and it goes up, like we're a little bullish tomorrow, we go up to one, like we might go up to 170 and then kind of settle down to 160 or 165 midday, and then the next couple of days we might do another bounce off the golden pocket like we did the first time here, and the second one we got another bounce, 2 bounces off the golden pocket, right? So that's another trend we've seen in both of these charts. First 2 bounces on the golden pocket, volume this one came close, right? Boom, spike up on volume. It's still possible that might bounce up the next day or two a little bit, right? To 160, 170 range. Then we might come back down and do a double bounce on the golden pocket Friday. Then maybe Monday is when they decide to post something and boom, right? Or tomorrow, boom. I don't know. Could happen either way, right? We will see. But I'm leaving this how it is because right here in this point would be the 6 off the golden pocket, maybe one. So we see the RSI is back up to 83, 84. I'm going to be a little weary, right? Because I know that's just a couple ticks away from when it maxes out, as far as the previous close runs go, right? So you're looking at all. You don't just go off of one indicator, right? You're looking at you should be looking at several indicators. You're looking at what's the volume like today? Where's the RSI at? Did we just hit the golden pocket or another one, the 0.38 or the 0.5, right? Are we near some historic support or resistance, right? You have to be thinking about all these kind of things while you're doing it and checking more than one, right? And you can also come back and check some of these things. Let's look at some of these things I haven't checked in a little while here. Let's turn on the bullish end and see. Okay, that's crazy. If you remember my old videos talking about the Bollinger Band, and there's even one where I told you, hey, look, we're getting these. I'm pretty sure it was even when we had this. Can you see where I'm pointing at here? I think you should be able to. Yep. So when we got this one here, I'm pretty sure on my video I said, look out for a drop, because as you know, as I've explained in videos before, when you have a candle open and close completely out of the Bollinger Band like that, that's a very high possibility it's going to start coming down. And you can see it did. And I was surprised it didn't happen back here on this one or this one, where they were also out of the Bollinger Band, but the relative strength was so strong it kept us going up, right? Because we had a couple of nice PRs in a row that kept us going up, but then it said enough is enough. You had a full, huge fractal even, and I know fractals often call a change in direction. So not only was it a full candle outside of the Bollinger Band. See, this is the top Bollinger Band here, and it opened and closed completely outside of it. That was another indicator that we were heading back down. So fractal plus candle open and closed outside of the Bollinger Band told us you're going back down. Plus, when you get a top like this and there's two huge wicks, you also know that's a really high indicator of going back down. The RSI at that time was high. We knew it was going back down. So you're not going off of one thing. You're using several things. And let's see, how far along are we? I don't even know how long this has been, but I can see that I'm losing quite a bit of people, so it must be getting a little too long. So that's the Bollinger Band. We may see it come back down. Let me turn this back on. So you can see the bottom of the golden pocket is actually right here on that, or is that a Bollinger Band or is that MA? That's the MA. So you can see that the bottom of the golden pocket is actually right where the 13 MA is, which is another sign we can see. Okay, so we may come down, hit the bottom of the golden pocket, and find support on the 13 MA, and that'll also act as support. Okay, so there's all these things that add up, right? You're not looking at one thing, you're checking different things, right? So you can see we finally the red line, right? A whole month we used it for support. And then we finally broke back down, which is bullish, right? We want to see this. It's bullish to be coming back down here, resetting the RSI, hitting that golden pocket, letting us reload, and then boom, we're going to get another shot back up. That's just how it works in a bullish run, right? You wouldn't be able to do this with a stock that's not having such a bullish run and going down, right? This is a way to track a bullish run. Okay, so that's that. I wanted to show where is that? The Huma. So Huma, after she became CSO, she had to do this initial statement of beneficial ownership of securities. So she, once she became a CSO, she had to clarify how many shares of Ocgn she had, and it's not much, right? She clarified she had 1,643 shares of Ocgn. So I expect that they when people get in these positions, right, especially in Ocgn, they're, as part of their compensation package, they're given these like stock options, basically, with the rights to exercise to get a big amount of stocks, right? So, and that's usually voted in, and maybe there's already something voted in where once they come on, they'll get this like initial chunk of stock. So I imagine here sometime shortly, they're either going to have to vote for it, or Huma's going to get this like compensation package where she's going to end up with a lot more stocks than 1,600. And they'll come out being like, when they post it, it'll be whatever the price is that day, right? So I'd imagine they're probably going to try and get her some shares pretty quickly here before we shoot up, and that also may be part of the reason why they're trying to push earnings back. And that may be part of the reason why they recently switched to that thing so they can quickly vote with less people and more quickly, so they can do something like this. We got to get Huma her shares quickly or whatever. I don't know. That's pure speculation, something like that. And then also it was pure speculation about them like doing the accounting error on purpose, right? That's definitely pure speculation. If that could have just been because of an idiot, right? There has been like 2 or 3 accountants, I think, in the last 2 or 3 years. So either one of those people may have not known what they were doing or just messed stuff up because they knew they were leaving anyways. So that's why we're seeing them have to go fix whatever errors some idiot did that they hired, and now the new guy's got to fix it, right? So maybe it wasn't this like secret tinfoil hat thing where they're trying to push it back to get more time for uh, a PR to come out first. Maybe it was simply just some mistake from some idiot. Okay, that's possible. So this is a form of her showing the amount of shares she's got. All right, so we'll kind of move into the live DD slash Q&A. Does anybody have any questions at this point? And first, I want to say, like, no PT questions. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I think the stock is going to, because I don't know, and I'm not going to just guess and tell you anything. I think we're at least probably going to get to $5. I think it's possible to get to 10 and even 15, but those are complete guesses, and anything past that would be amazing. Well, those are just the numbers where I'm like, that would be cool, right? There's nothing, no mathematics or scientific thing about that. That's pure, just like one of the ones in your head, whatever they call that, right? Where I think it maybe $5 or $10 is in play, right? Maybe it's in the next couple of weeks. Maybe it's at the end of the year. Maybe it's closer to 2026. I don't know that either, but I think there are definitely some nice PRs coming out that can get us going in that direction for sure. And I'm hoping in a big way soon because I want to see some money, right? Like most of us, and I want to see these products get to the market. So let me make this bigger again. And let's take a look here. So I don't see any questions. So I'll keep going, but I'll keep checking to see if anybody pops in a question. So let's move into how I do my DD, how I keep up on this stock and other stocks that I'm in. And I do this usually twice a day or more, in the morning before I go to work, and then in the afternoon after I get off of work. Believe it or not, it's kind of my break before I start doing homework to come home and look up stuff for Ocgn to share. So I'm constantly on the go, except for when I'm asleep, and even when I'm in my bed. Oftentimes I'm waking up at like 3:30 in the morning, and sometimes I go on LinkedIn and type in Ocgn just to see if there's anything there, because I'm kind of obsessed like that. So what you do is you come on LinkedIn, you type in Ocgn, you hit posts, and you wait for that to populate, and then you go sort by, and my computer's real slow, probably because I'm streaming stuff, but you sort by, you click latest, you click show results, and boom, we're going to get all the latest stuff posted on LinkedIn. We get our latest post here that they did about the 410 ST medium dose cohort to modifier therapy study for Stargardt disease. So that's cool. The first one, they did the small dose and there was no problems, everything great, right? Now they'll move up to the medium dose and then the high dose, right? So it's good that they're taking these steps up, right? Another step in the right direction. And under that, you can see here, there was a post by Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey Biotech Networks 4 hours ago. Ocgn to host conference call on Tuesday, April 2nd. I don't know where they got that from, because Ocgn said today, I guess they said by the 16th. I don't know where they got the second from. I don't think I believe that, but so that's that one there. Ocgn announces positive data on AD Kabar. I've never seen I haven't seen these people post about Ocgn yet, so that's one I might want to check out. See what it says here real quick. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so talking about the Stargardt disease, talking about Huma. Sometimes I just like to scan these and see if there's anything added in them that's not in another one, because sometimes there's like a news crew that got in like one more question or one more statement from somebody than another one did, and you can sometimes find out more information when you check out more than one source, right? So I often check out as many sources as possible, but I'm not seeing anything that I haven't really seen before on here. But that's cool that more people are starting to post about Ocgn. Let's keep going. Ocgn announces positive data. So I'm going to guess this is the same exact article we just looked at by another one. Then we've got some job postings here by these MedBot, LegalBot, whatever. These are usually things that I see from postings from India. Yep, sure enough, location Mandel there. That's where our location is in India. So we're hiring a senior associate intellectual property and technical writing person and a senior associate. Okay, that's just same position, but another company posting it. Here's another article. Looks like about the same thing though. This one mentions Ocgn as being a top more keyers in. I don't know they're in any of these things. Um, Sometimes they don't. They're not really anything. I don't know. Okay, and then I've seen these before. This is a post from 4 days ago. This guy mentions seeing Ocgn at the Pharma 2024. So that's what I do usually twice a day, and that's just LinkedIn. I do the same thing on Google. And on Google, I'll do last 24 hours and I'll see if there's any articles within the last 24 hours I haven't seen. I'll often check more than one article to see if anything's different in them. And this is the kind of stuff you should be doing with companies that you've invested lots of money in. Keeping tabs on them, seeing what's going on, right? So, okay, that's that. I do the same thing on Twitter. I'll come on Twitter and I'll do a search, and I'll search Ocgn and I'll click latest, and I'll see if anybody said anything, right? All and you see all the latest stuff, and then I'll do the same thing with Ocgn, right? And I'll see what all the latest post people are saying there, and I do this twice or more than once a day. And when I see this, it reminds me of the Predator Guru, right? And for a split second, I remembered that thing I forgot. Let's see if I can pull it out of my brain here again. It just doesn't want to come out. Whatever. So yeah, I do the same thing on Twitter. And oh yeah, when you are in these groups with these stock people, you get assigned. This is the thing I couldn't remember earlier. You get assigned, like when you join somebody's emailing list or a Telegram group and you're paying them, oftentimes they give you like this homework. All right, you have to go on StockTwits and you have to repost what I said with something positive, and then you get like this many points, or you get like an extra. I'll tell you an extra something, right? So that's where the scam part comes in. is that it makes it look like show you my face here while I'm talking about this stuff. That's where the scam part comes in, where it makes it look like other people are like, this is great. But really, it's just that stock guru telling people, hey, you have to go post that I said this and I did good. And especially when it's ones like, so and so stock is so great. I 100% here. And they're showing like the gains they did and they tag that person that they're grouping. They have to do that. They're not doing that because they actually think that. They have to do that. That's part of being in those groups. It's like a if you were in like a sorority, it's the same thing where you're like forced to do this stupid stuff because you want to be cool, you want to be part of this crowd, or you want this like secret information that's just BS. You guys don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it. And that reminds me of the tip thing I put on there. I didn't know that you could leave comments, and luckily, someone left a comment, and it was just like, "Hey, great job." Um, don't leave me a tip and like ask a question for like a PT or anything like that because I don't want you to waste your money. I'm not going to do that. I don't want you to feel like you're paying for some sort of service. That's literally just there to say like thank you for using your time to make these videos. That's all that is. It's not. I don't want anyone to be like give me $100 tip and be like, hey, give me the what's the PT tomorrow or whatever. I'm not doing that. Okay, so please don't do that. Um, yeah. So I covered everything I have on my list here. What was there was a question earlier. The accounting irregularities. I did talk about that, so we covered that. I think it could just be a mistake from some idiot, or maybe they're like, we need some way to make sure we have a PR before earnings, and to also make sure we can get Huma some shares because believe it or not, there are dirty dealings like that that happen. I'm sure you know that even in your building you've seen something like that where your boss gives a wink and allows something that's not supposed to happen, right? That it happens in every single place, right? And what we see it in the teaching field, when it comes to getting teaching positions, that happens a lot. Um, they administrators and people at like the main head office in our school districts and everywhere, they know who they want to hire, but for the formality they have to throw it up online. They have to interview people that want it as well, and in their head they're like, this is a waste of time because we know we're already getting Joe Schmo over here to do it. Everyone knows that happens everywhere, right? Dirty dealing, stuff like that happens anywhere. So I wouldn't put it past something like that happening. And but it's just like whatever. That's probably not what's happening, but it's possible. And that actually reminds me, I wanted to. There's one more important thing at the bottom of one of these that was real important to show you guys. Let me find it. Uh, it was talking about that even though the accounting errors were there, that it did not affect the financial stuff. That's foreign looking statements. Let's see. It's got to be on this other one. Here it is. So this one's important to point out too, especially for you guys that aren't following along with everything Ocgen's got going on. And I looked to my left, and I look like a madman over here. Uh, oh man. So, for the reasons set forth in Part 3 above, the company is currently not in a position to provide a reasonable estimate of the anticipated changes in its results, and you guys can't see it. So, for the reasons set forth in Part 3 above, the company is currently not in position to provide a reasonable estimate of the anticipated changes in its results of operations for the year ended December 31st, 2023, compared to its results of operations for the year ending 2022. However, the company does not expect the errors to result in any impact on its cash position or financial projections. And I think this sentence right here is what saved us from crashing down today, because I think at first everyone was really worried, like, oh no, accounting errors. That means they're probably have no money right now. The Bears probably got a kick out of that one for a split second. Ha ha ha! They're probably actually bankrupt, right? I could just see them reeling off of that. But this right here shows there's nothing to worry about. It didn't change their financials at all, right? So that's real important to point out about those accounting mistakes, is that it's not that big a deal. It's more on some sort of agreement with our upcoming partnership. Some sort of formality on there is what they're trying to figure out, and they're saying it's not a case of a financial error, as in we don't have the money that they say we do. So that's a real important thing there. And that's about all I have, you guys. This has been a lot of fun, so I'm hesitating jumping off. If I don't see any other questions here in a minute, that's going to be the end of it. And I hope tomorrow we're gonna. It's I don't know. Tomorrow could be huge, or it could just be like I mentioned earlier. Maybe we jump up to 170 because we didn't get like a tweet, but we did get an official. We've got compliance now. So tomorrow, because we saw after hours, we went up 10% or something. So tomorrow could be huge, you guys. So it's up to you what you want to do, but just remember, watch those indicators. Watch the top for the RSI. Watch the Bollinger Bands, all that stuff we talked about, and make sure to go do your homework. Go buy this for, I think it was $5 or something. I got a used copy on Amazon. One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. It'll be worth your $5. The more you learn about the stock market, the better. All right. I don't see anything, you guys. Thank you for subscribing. If you subscribe, that's awesome. I really appreciate that, and giving it a like so more people can find out about Ocgn. Share this on Twitter, please, or with whoever, so we can get more limelight on Ocgn, the better, right? Because we all want Ocgn to do better, and Ocgn to the moon, right? That's what we all want. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna jump off here. I came on instead of doing my homework tonight. I'm gonna be docked some points because I was supposed to only be I was supposed to do a picture a day this week. So I'm supposed to have 7 drawings done, but I didn't check my class until Saturday. So now I have 2 out of 7 drawings, and instead of doing that tonight, I decided this would be more fun. What can you do? All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good night. And I'm thinking tomorrow's probably going to be a pretty good day, you guys. All right, have a good night. Let's stop screen share. End stream. Have a good night.